Welcome back to our third lesson of t-shirt designing with Adobe Photoshop. In this lesson, I'm going to be showing you how you can make a Christmas t-shirt design just by using Adobe Photoshop. So make sure not to skip any part of this lesson because it is going to be very simple. So without any further ado, let's just hop onto our lesson by opening up Adobe Photoshop on our device. Now, as I have opened up Adobe Photoshop, now the first thing I'm going to do is follow up the same step and make myself up an interface. A4, this is what I need. I'm going to keep it on 16-bit or maybe I'm going to keep it on 32-bit this time because, there's a lot less edits in it. So there we go. We have our interface or our art book. Now I'm going to do is going to be opening up the files which we need. So if it over here. There we go. We have three of them over here. I'm going to select each and every one of them and I'm going to open them up on my interface. So there we go. We have three of them, 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to be using a couple of these elements a couple of times. Okay. So if you do not have your resources, I'm going to show you a couple of sites from where you can get those resources. So first thing is that open up any of your web browser on your device. Can see as I'm using Chrome. So you can either, if you're using photos or videos, just go off to pixels.com. Pixels.com offers you royalty-free photos or even videos, which you'll be able to use in all cases, even your client and your project work, and you can also submit them or publish them if you want to. But if you get resources from any other sites, those might be not royalty-free, which will make it copyright. Okay, so make sure to use this site, or you can also go off to unsplash.com, unsplash.com. They also provide you with royalty-free, let's say these photos and also videos. If you want to use audios, well, we are not going to be using any audio anyways, but you can also go off to music, which is also going to offer you royalty-free music, and a couple of, let's say, objects or graphical elements which you want. You can get them from freepik.com. You can log in with your account and you can use the used, or let's say the free ones. There's also licensed one. If you use a premium version, you'll be able to use the licensed and the premium ones too, which is going to be royalty free. But if you're not, subscribed to this Freepik premium account, you will not be able to use them. Okay, so there we go. We have all of our resources. Now the first thing which we need to do is going to be applying or getting ourselves the interface where we can start our work. Now first things first is that I'm going to make a very simple type of design. So first things first, I'm going to do is use this hat over here. So I'm going to do is going to be removing the background because I'm not going to be needing the background. And I'm going to take this subject, which we have already over here. I'm going to press on Control Z. I'm going to do is just select the subject. And I'm going to need a couple of other parts too. So I'm going to wait until the other parts have been selected too. I'm going to use this brush tool. Select border. I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this tool over here. I'm going to select up the parts over here too, because I'm going to be needing all the parts even inside of it. Well, if you sometimes see that, let's say there are a couple of parts which are not selected, just use this selection tool, selection brush tool. It will allow you to select up the parts which are not selected. You can see it over here. There's a couple of parts which are not selected. I'm going to go using this hand tool again. Use this tool over here, brush tool. There we go. Select up all the parts which you need. And then you're good to go. So I'm going to click on that. And we can take all this out into our workspace where we need it to be. Press on OK. So there we go. I'm going to put it over here. Then what I'm going to do is going to be combining a couple of other elements too. So as we have this over here, I'm going to increase the size. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to do is just rasterize this effect. Okay, so you can also rasterize this effect whenever you want to, but you have to first off convert it into a smart object. So first off I'm going to do is going to be converting it into a smart object. Right click on it and then you can rasterize the layer if you want to. So there we go. We have rasterized the effect. Now what I'm going to do is going to be taking in the decors or this part which we want. So I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this tool over here. Now select up which beard do you want. So from here, I'm going to need this beard over here. So I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this. There we go. We have selected that. Select on this. I'm going to press on backspace, removed. Can zoom in a bit more and fix all of them up a lot better. There we go. Selected this part, delete. I'm going to go down and remove out the parts which I do not need. Delete. Delete. Couple of parts which you don't need, just remove them. And just use this hand tool over here. You can also press on H on your keyboard to remove them if you want to. So I'm going to be showing it to you. So I'm going to do is just first off remove up the areas. I'm going to make it look a lot more better. So I'm going to do is just select up the parts which I do not need and remove them whenever I want to. There we go. Press on H. And then select on this brush tool again, which is going to be your W key on your keyboard. Backspace. Backspace. There we go. Selected backspace. Press on H. I'm going to go off, select up the other parts, W. Select delete. Delete. H. There we go. W. Backspace, remove. H. W. Select up the parts which we need to. Backspace, H. And you can see we're good to go. So I'm going to do is just going to zoom out. I'm going to take this element directly into our workspace. So I'm going to go off over here, paste it. Yes. What I'm going to do is just going to be increasing the size of this. I'm going to just convert it into a smart object. Right click. Convert it into a smart object over here. There we go. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to go off the blending option. And I'm going to do is going to be applying a bit of stroke outside of it. So I'm going to click on stroke. There we go. I'm going to do is go off the stroke over here. So there we go. I've applied in the stroke. Select the color. Just put it all black. Press on OK. And you can see this is how it looks like. I'm going to keep it in the center. So this is how it should look like. I'm going to do is fix in the size. Okay, let's just keep it to be outside. Okay, so outside looks better. I'm going to put on overprint, and you can also put in gradient if you want to. You can also put in this pattern, but I'm going to put in color. And then I'm going to press on OK. There we go. We have it. Just reduce the size. This is where I want it to be. I'm going to keep it over here. And now I'm going to put in more elements inside of it. So first off, I'm going to do is going to be selecting up text. Since I have the text, I'm going to put in, let's say, Merry Christmas. Okay. So there we go. We have Merry Christmas already written. I'm select on all of this. And I'm going to do is going to be changing the font. So I'm going to click on over here. And I'm going to do is find out something which will make or give it the vibe of making it look good. So I'm going to click on this one. There we go. Select on this. Increase the size. I'm going to keep it over here. And now I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this text over here. Select all of them. 36. Or maybe let's say I'm going to do is keep them 39. Well, let's keep it somewhere around 40. Let's check it out how it looks like. Let's say I have to put it somewhere around like 48. There we go. Totally perfect. I'm going to keep it over here. And I'm going to do is going to be changing the color of specific lines. Let's say the first line I'm going to do is make it look green. And on the next line, I'm going to do is just make it look red. There we go. We have this one over here. Have this Merry Christmas written over here. I'm going to do is going to be selecting on the other ones, which we have over here. We have layer 2. Just increase the size of these so that we can apply more elements and also make it look a lot more better. Reduce the size just a bit. There we go. Select on the text. I'm going to increase the size. And I'm going to do is just keep it a bit below so that I can apply an elements inside over here or on the top part. Okay. So first I'm going to right click on it. Right click. I'm going to go off on blending options, and on the blending options I'm going to do is going to be apply a bit of stroke. So I'm going to click on stroke. I'm going to do is going to be reducing the size of the stroke. There we go. Keep it 7 and press on OK. Good to go. Now what I'm going to do is going to be start applying my elements or the decor. So I'm going to do is first off select up the elements which I want. So I'm going to do is just going to apply this one and stars. Select on this option over here. I'm going to do is going to be using object selection. I'm going to select on this, and I'm going to wait for a bit until it has been selected. And after the selection has been done, what I'm going to do is, you can see this is how it looks like. So I'm going to do is just use this. Select on this tool over here. I'm going to take it directly over here. Right click on it, and I'm going to do is convert it into smart object. Select on this tool. There we go. I'm going to do is go off over here. Press on Control Z. I'm going to do is going to be selecting this specific object over here. And take a bit of time because, when you're selecting a lot of them, it will analyze the whole thing and use this quick mask tool to select up that part and take it to the other part. Yes. Right click on it, convert it into smart object. There we go. I'm going to do is going to be applying a bit of curve over here. You can see this is how it should look like. I'm going to do is just rotate, take this a bit down. It will look like this. Press on that, and then you're good to go. Do is just apply that. And I'm going to do is just going to keep it underneath. There we go. Apply a bit more, elements if you want to. Press on Control Z. I'm going to do is apply a bit of these. So I'm going to do is going to be selecting on them. Object selection. There we go. Selected. Select on this mask tool, quick mask. Select on this, take it over here. Press on yes. Right click and convert it into smart object. I'm going to have it at the top. There we go. I'm going to do is apply more elements. Control Z, selection. Let's say I'm going to do is just use this time. Use this option over here. Selection, take it directly over here. Press on yes. You can apply it wherever you want to. Let's say I'm going to do is just keep it over here underneath the text. I do is right click on it and convert it into smart object. So as we have all the elements inside of it, what we can do is press on Control A, select up the whole thing, except for the background. There we go, all of them selected. Right click on it, and then first off, you can, if you want to, also convert all of them into smart object. So all of them has been turned into a smart object, you can see. Now what we're going to do is going to be removing the parts which we do not need, or the resources which we do not need. So I'm going to do is remove this, no, and the last one also, no. And then I'm going to do is going to be opening up my t-shirt files. Select both of them, press on open. And I'm going to do is going to be taking them one by one into these t-shirts. Press on OK. It will take a bit of time. You can see it has been applied. I'm going to zoom out, reduce the size, right click, clipping mask, right, just reduce it. And you can see we have our t-shirt file ready. Now we can also apply a bit of blending option over here so that it actually looks a bit more better. You can see this is how it will look. You can see color burn. All of them will look a lot more better, but multiply just gets along with this, this t-shirt. Also, you can click on this option, right click on this. Then you can go off the transparency option if you want to, and then fix it up. You can also see it over here. Now, first off, I'm going to do is going to be reducing the transparency just a bit, somewhere around 80 to 90, so that all the shades are perfect on the t-shirt. Now let's do the same thing over here. Take it directly into this black t-shirt. Press on yes, press on OK. Wait for a bit until it is done. I'm going to do is fix in the size, right click, and convert it or create a clipping mask first. You can see convert to smart object, right click, and then create a clipping mask. There we go. I'm going to do is put it right over here. Reduce the size, fix it up, right click on it, go off the blending option, fix it up. Let's say I'm going to just use whichever one you prefer. So you have dissolve, you have different ones to use. You can see hard mix looks quite good. It's basically up to you, whichever one you want to use. You can also see this. So from here, I'm going to use multiply, color burn, fixing the opacity, fix that up. You can see, can fix it up if you want to. Apply red. The greens, you can fix up the greens, perfect greens if you want to. You can also apply different type of effects, but I'm going to do is just keep it on normal. You can do that. Reduce the transparency. Well, try reducing the transparency from here because it will allow you to, give you the shade of that t-shirt more. So there we go. We are good to go. Both of the t-shirts are done. You can also apply more effects if you want to make your, Christmas t-shirt design. Okay. So you can, if you have like newer ideas and if you have more ideas about it, you can create it on your own, fiddle through these options, and you'll be able to create something which you actually need or get the results however you want to. Okay. So you can follow these steps if you want to, but if you don't want to, that's also up to you. But I've shown you a very basic type of design, which you can try it on, and you can also apply more, but using the same steps and the same method and the same usage of tools. So hope you understood everything about this lesson from the beginning to the end. If you still have any confusion or any question about any part of the lesson, feel free to ask me anytime. I'm always there to help you out, okay? And make sure not to skip any part and make sure to use or stay connected with the internet whenever you are working with Adobe Photoshop or making t-shirt design. So without any further ado, let's move on to our next lesson of t-shirt designing with Adobe Photoshop.